Hey everybody, and welcome to Meals with Melissa, where I come up with healthier versions of things you love to eat. Now, summer's almost here, and I know that apples are not a very summery thing, but I don't know about you, I want some treats. I just finished a sugar detox, and maybe start adding some back. But, you know, I know that you like to, if those of you that like to have a sweet tooth, you kind of got to have something. So today's option works fantastic. We're going to make chocolate covered apple slices. Now, we are using sugar-free chocolate chips. And of course, you know that my hesitation with that is most of them do contain quite a bit of erythritol. You don't want to eat too much of that, because if you eat too much of it, you're going to have a gut ache. It's going to mess with your microbiome. You're going to get you're going to get really gassy. So don't do that. But a little bit of it is just fine. So what I've done here is I have melted a little bit of some of the semi-sweet. I prefer the semi-sweet or dark chocolate over. I don't like milk chocolate. The older I get, it's just too sweet. And I like to have a balance of flavor these days. That's why I like throwing a little salt on there makes the sweet taste amazing. So I've melted that just in the microwave, just a little bit. And honestly, to make this actually work a little bit better and be smoother, I'm gonna add a little bit of coconut oil, because what it does is it kind of thins it out just a little bit. And I'm gonna freeze these, so it's just really not a big deal. But I am gonna mix a little bit of that in there, and it makes it a lot easier to work with. So if you can't really see it there, there you go. So we're gonna add that little bit of the coconut oil. Now, I have already started slicing my apple. I've just, whatever thick, this isn't super thick, but whatever thick slice you want. If you want a little thicker, that's great. And then you want to get rid of the core. So I'm actually just using something that I found off a lid off my olive oil. I want to cut out that core out of the middle. So if you have something, if you have a core or something that works just fine, that's great. Now I'm working on wax paper, or not wax paper, parchment paper. Wax paper works as well too, because it makes it for super, super easy cleanup. And I don't want complicated, and I don't want a mess. So I'm gonna pop that out. Perfect. So looks kind of like a donut. So I'm gonna actually dip this in my chocolate that I've already got ready to go, and make sure that it's covered, and I'm gonna leave it on the wax paper. I'm gonna throw it in the freezer for, it doesn't really take very long. It's probably all of 10 minutes that I needed to throw that in it. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Now, for those of you who are allergic to peanuts, I am gonna use a little bit of peanut butter today and a little bit of chopped peanuts. If that does not work for you, realize you could also use almonds, or if you don't really wanna use any of the above, you don't have to. I just like the extra little bit of flavor and the crunch. Of course, apple has crunch too, but yeah, whatever works best for you. Feel free to be creative. All right, so I know you can't see it, but I'm actually kind of trying to drown this slice of apple in my chocolate mixture. I just want to make sure it's fully covered before I throw it in the freezer. And if you have to, you can always add a little bit after the fact. And of course, I like mine nice and thick. All right, so I'm gonna put that on my parchment paper, throw that in the freezer. I'm gonna show you what that looks like as I take that out. Move this out of the way for just a second here. I wash my fingers before I lick them. All right. Super, super easy. All right. So like I said, freeze for, 10-ish minutes, whatever works best for you. Then you're gonna pull it out. And we're gonna add a little bit of a peanut butter drizzle. Now, I kind of did the same thing with the peanut butter. I wanted it to be thin enough that I could actually drizzle it so it's not super thick. We tend to use Adams at my house because it is sugar-free. It doesn't have any extra stuff in it. It's just roasted nuts, which I love. All right, now, again, some of you are allergic to peanut butter. I understand that. You can choose, I love almond butter. The Kirkland from Costco, Kirkland brand almond butter is my favorite. I just like it. I like to put it on rice cakes and all kinds of things. All right, so I've got my frozen apple slice here. I did add a little bit of coconut oil to my peanut butter. Again, I wanted it thinned out a little bit so I can drizzle. It makes it much, much easier to work with. So I'm just actually gonna use the edge of a spoon. I'm not gonna do anything crazy because I don't wanna waste a bunch of time. And I don't, ooh, it turned out pretty darn good though. Look at that. So if you can't see it, ooh, there you go. Okay, so to that I'm gonna add a little bit of just roughly chopped peanuts. Again, if you cannot eat them, do not use them. But super simple. I just bought some dry roasted peanuts. Again, you can use with or without salt. The peanut butter has a little bit of salt on it, so it is gonna give a little bit of that flavor, although not a bad idea to add just a little bit of Celtic sea salt to the top. It'll just give it that extra flavor. All right, so I'm just gonna drizzle this on top. Little bit of peanuts, give it kind of a crunchy, and I'll show you what it's gonna look like it's done. I'm gonna throw that back in the freezer, pull my other one out, and you can see what it looks like. Super, super simple. And here we go. And I think it turned it out phenomenal, right? Super easy. You probably want to keep them either cold or frozen until you're about ready to eat them because, of course, sometimes the chocolate melts real fast, especially when the summer's coming. Anyways, it's phenomenal. Something super easy. It's on the healthier spectrum of things, and it gives you a little bit of a chocolate flair. So works great for me. Now, I get my very best ideas from you. So if you have an idea you'd love to share, please either leave a comment below or DM me because I love all the recipes that you guys have been sending. We use all of them because we all want to eat healthier and we want some ideas, right? We want to be creative. Now, if you have not jumped over to YouTube or if you're on YouTube right now, make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get all the new ones as they come out because summer's coming. Pretty excited about that. And that's all she wrote. Have a great week, you guys. Stay warm, stay happy, and stay healthy. See you soon.